Welcome to your personalized deep dive. We're going to be taking a look at a blog post today about jewel cichlid breeding.
Okay.
It's written by a guy named Ang,
Mm.
and he calls himself an old software plumber.
Interesting.
Yeah, his blog is amazing. He
Yeah.
writes about
Wow.
everything from gardening to software development, even dieting.
Mm-hmm.
You could say he's a man of many interests.
Sounds like someone with a lot of passion.
Yeah. What sparked his interest in jewel cichlid breeding?
It really makes you wonder.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like your average
Right.
everyday hobby.
That's true. It takes a particular kind of person
Right.
to be fascinated by the intricacies
Yeah.
of fish breeding.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what I find so intriguing about Ang's blog.
So true. Well, in this particular post, Ang is chronicling his attempt to introduce new jewel cichlids to his outdoor ponds.
Ponds.
He puts ponds in quotes.
Interesting.
I thought that was kind of curious.
It definitely piques your curiosity, doesn't it?
Any ideas why?
It could be that he's using a more elaborate setup
Okay.
than your typical backyard pond.
Okay.
Maybe he's got a sophisticated filtration system or temperature control.
Oh.
Or perhaps these ponds are actually large, custom-built aquariums
Wow.
designed to mimic a natural habitat.
That's really interesting. I'm already picturing something pretty high-tech back there.
Yeah.
Ang mentions that his goal is to breed the fish,
Okay.
not for profit,
Mm-hmm.
but for the sheer pleasure of fish breeding.
Wow.
What do you think it is about breeding that draws people in?
I think for many, it's the thrill of creating something new,
Yeah.
of witnessing the circle of life unfold right before their eyes. It's about nurturing and caretaking, about understanding the delicate balance of an ecosystem. There's also an element of mystery and surprise. You can carefully select your breeding pairs,
Right.
but ultimately, nature has the final say.
I love that. And it sounds like Ang is embracing that mystery. He bought 5 new fish,
Okay.
thinking they were all female,
Mm-hmm.
based on their rounded white bellies. Apparently, that's a common way to determine the sex of jewel cichlids.
Yes, visual sexing is often used,
Oh, bet.
especially for beginner hobbyists.
Hmm.
But as Ang is finding out, it can sometimes be unreliable.
Unreliable. How so?
Well, female jewel cichlids generally have those physical characteristics.
Okay.
Younger males can sometimes display similar traits.
Oh.
So it's possible that Ang accidentally purchased some males,
Oh, wow.
which could explain the behavior he's observing.
Interesting.
And that brings up a really interesting point. He mentions that even though he's been breeding these fish for 5 years,
Right.
the price was still rather affordable.
Hmm.
What do you make of that?
Honestly, I didn't think much of it at first, but now that you mention it, it does seem a little unusual. Wouldn't you expect the price to go up?
Yeah.
Especially if it's a specialized hobby?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It suggests that jewel cichlids are readily available
Okay.
and perhaps aren't in high demand among hobbyists.
Gotcha.
Maybe they are relatively easy to breed,
Okay.
which could also keep the prices stable.
Huh. I never thought about the economics of fish breeding before.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It's fascinating how a simple observation like that can lead to so many different insights.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the interconnectedness of everything. Even a hobby like fish keeping
Mm-hmm.
can have ties to economics
Rhyology.
and even ethics.
So Ang added these new fish, thinking they were all female, to his ponds, where he already has a community of older jewel cichlids. And that's where things start to get really interesting.
Tell me about it. I was on the edge of my seat reading this part.
Me too. He observed that while some of the older fish welcomed the newcomers, others were incredibly territorial and started chasing them away. This really confused him because, as he points out, females are typically accepted among male fish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to not just rely on visual sexing.
Right.
There are other methods like observing behavior,
Right.
looking at fin shapes,
Mm-hmm.
and even venting, which involves examining the fish's reproductive organs.
Oh, wow.
These methods are more accurate,
Okay.
but can be tricky
Right.
for someone who's not a trained expert.
So are we thinking Ang might have some males mixed in with his supposed females?
It's definitely a possibility and one that could lead to some dramatic changes.
And if so, what could happen next?
In his little underwater community,
Mm-hmm.
male jewel cichlids can be fiercely territorial,
Right.
especially when it comes to establishing dominance and competing for mates.
Okay.
If you suddenly introduce new males into an existing hierarchy,
Right.
it's bound to create some friction.
And this is where I got really hooked. It's like we're watching a reality show unfold. Aang even admits that this whole situation has him scratching his head. He ends the post with, "We'll see what unfolds in the coming weeks."
Yeah.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
Oh, he knows how to keep his readers engaged, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But on a more serious note, this situation really highlights the complexities of fish keeping,
Right.
even for someone as experienced as Aang.
You're right. It's not just about throwing some fish in a tank and hoping for the best. There's so much more to it. And it makes me wonder what Aang's next move will be. Will he try to identify the males and separate them? Or will he let nature run its course and see how the hierarchy plays out?
Those are great questions. It's almost like we're armchair detectives trying to solve a mystery.
I love that analogy. Okay, so before we move on to the next part of Aang's journey, I want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay.
We've talked about visual sexing and how it can be tricky.
Right.
But what exactly is a hierarchy when it comes to fish?
Sure.
I think some of our listeners might be scratching their heads right now.
You're absolutely right. We should break that down a bit. A hierarchy in fish, especially in species like jewel cichlids,
Okay.
is basically a social pecking order.
Okay.
Think of it as a ranking system that determines who gets first dibs on food, the best territories, and even potential mates. It's typically established through displays of aggression and dominance,
Okay.
with the most assertive fish at the top.
Okay, that makes sense. So if Aang did accidentally introduce some males, it could disrupt that established pecking order and lead to some serious power struggles.
Exactly. And that's where the real drama begins.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how Aang navigates this unexpected challenge.
I know. I can't wait.
Me too.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Sounds good.
It's amazing how a seemingly simple hobby like fish keeping
Right.
can become so complex.
Yeah.
Who knew there were so many layers to just keeping a few fish happy and healthy,
I know.
let alone encouraging them to breed?
It's a testament to how much we can learn from the natural world.
Yeah.
Even something as small as a fish tank
Right.
can become a microcosm of a larger ecosystem.
And to think we're just getting started with Aang's story. This unexpected turn of events has me even more invested in seeing how this experiment unfolds. It's like he's given us a glimpse behind the curtain of a fascinating and often unpredictable world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of the unpredictable,
Okay.
this situation with the potentially misidentified fish got me thinking.
Okay.
What if this isn't the first time Aang has encountered a challenge like this?
What do you mean?
What if this is part of a larger pattern of learning and adaptation that he's experienced throughout his journey as a cichlid breeder?
Wait, hold on. Are you suggesting that we dig a little deeper into Aang's past?
Exactly. I think it'd be fascinating
But all for a little detective work.
to see if there are any clues in his previous blog posts
Okay.
that could shed light on his current predicament.
Hmm.
Maybe he's dealt with territorial disputes before,
Okay.
or perhaps he's even documented his process of learning about different sexing methods.
Ooh, that's a great idea. Imagine if we find a post from a few years back.
Yeah.
Where he's lamenting a similar situation, maybe even vowing to get better at identifying those tricky males. It would add a whole new dimension to this story.
It would be like piecing together a puzzle, wouldn't it?
Right.
Each blog post could be a clue
Yeah.
that helps us understand his current situation
Right.
and predict how he might react to this new challenge.
Okay. I'm officially on board.
Great.
Let's do some digging and see what we can uncover about Aang's fish-keeping history.
Okay.
I'm starting to feel like a real detective.
While you're looking into that,
Okay.
I had another thought.
Okay.
You know, Aang mentioned that his goal is the sheer pleasure of fish breeding.
Right.
But what exactly does that mean? What are the rewards
Yeah.
beyond just seeing those tiny baby cichlids swimming around?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's more than just a numbers game, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
I think for someone like Aang, it's about the challenge.
Right.
The satisfaction of creating a thriving environment
Yeah.
where these fish can not only survive,
Right.
but also flourish.
Yeah.
There's also a scientific aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
He is essentially conducting his own experiments,
Right.
observing behavior,
Yeah.
testing different breeding techniques,
Right.
and contributing to the collective knowledge
Yeah.
of the fish-keeping community.
It's like he's a citizen scientist in his own right.
Exactly.
And, that ties back to something we were discussing earlier,
Okay.
the affordability of jewel cichlids.
Right.
Maybe their relatively low price makes them a more accessible species
Yeah.
for hobbyists like Aang to experiment with.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It could be that their affordability allows for more experimentation and risk-taking.
Mm.
Breeders might feel more comfortable trying new techniques or introducing different variables if they're not worried about a significant financial investment.
So it's not just about the pleasure of breeding.
Right.
It's about the access to knowledge.
And the opportunity to contribute to a shared understanding of these fascinating creatures.
Absolutely.
I'm starting to see why Aang is so passionate about this hobby.
It's infectious, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder what other secrets are hidden
Right?
within the world of fish keeping.
Yeah.
What other mysteries are waiting to be unraveled?
Ooh, you've got me thinking now. Okay, so before we get too carried away, let's take a step back
Okay.
and consider Aang's current predicament.
Okay.
We've established that he might have misidentified some males,
Right.
which could lead to territorial disputes and disrupt the existing hierarchy in his ponds. But what are the implications for his breeding goals? Will this setback derail his entire experiment?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And to answer that, I think we need to understand a little more about the breeding process itself.
Okay.
For example, how do jewel cichlids choose their mates? What are the optimal conditions for breeding?
And how do they care for their young?
Ooh, good points. It's like we need a crash course in jewel cichlid romance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's dive into some of those details. First off, jewel cichlids are monogamous, meaning they typically form pair bonds. The males will often display elaborate courtship rituals
Oh, wow.
to attract a female, involving fin displays and body shimmers.
Oh. It's like they have their own underwater dance routines.
Exactly. And once a pair bond is established, they'll work together to select a breeding site, which is usually a flat surface, like a rock or even the side of the tank.
So having too many males could really throw a wrench in the whole matchmaking process.
Absolutely.
Right.
If the males are too focused on competing with each other, they might not have the energy or focus to engage in those courtship rituals.
Gotcha.
And even if a pair bond does form, there's no guarantee that the chosen breeding site will be safe from the aggression of other males.
Wow. It's starting to sound like a real-life soap opera.
You're telling me.
All this drama unfolding in Aang's backyard ponds.
But beyond the drama, there are some serious implications for the success of his breeding experiment. And that brings us back to the question. What will Aang do next? Will he intervene and try to separate the males? Or will he let nature take its course and see how things play out?
It's a tough call. On the one hand, he could try to restore order and create a more controlled environment for breeding. But on the other hand, maybe there's something to be learned from letting nature run its course.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance between human intervention and allowing natural processes to unfold. And ultimately, the decision rests with Aang. He's the one who has to weigh the pros and cons and decide what's best for his fishy friends.
You got that right. It's a big responsibility, but one that Aang seems to take very seriously. Remember, he's been doing this for 5 years. He's clearly committed to the well-being of his cichlids.
I agree, and I have a feeling he'll make the right decision, whatever that may be. But before we jump to conclusions, let's take a closer look at the environment he's created. We keep talking about these ponds, in quotes. What do you think that tells us about the kind of setup Aang has? And how might that setup influence his breeding efforts?
You're right. We've been so focused on the drama that we've almost forgotten about the stage where it's all taking place. I'm picturing something more elaborate than your average backyard pond. Especially given his attention to detail and his passion for the hobby.
I think you're on the right track. Remember, he chose the word ponds very deliberately. It's just a larger, more naturalistic setup than typical aquarium. He might have incorporated rocks, plants, and even driftwood to create a more stimulating environment for his cichlids.
That makes sense. It would be like giving them a little slice of their natural habitat.
Exactly.
And I bet that kind of environment could have a big impact on their breeding behavior.
Absolutely.
After all, they've evolved to thrive in certain conditions, right?
Absolutely. The right environment can trigger those natural instincts and encourage them to mate. Think about it. In the wild, jewel cichlids would naturally seek out areas with specific water parameters,
All right.
vegetation,
Mm-hmm.
and even substrate for laying their eggs.
So Aang's ponds, with their more naturalistic setup, could be giving his cichlids those essential cues that tell them, hey, this is a good place to start a family.
Exactly. It's all about creating the right conditions for success.
Right.
And that goes beyond just the physical environment.
Okay.
Factors like water temperature, pH levels,
Okay.
and even the type of food he's providing can play a role in their overall health and breeding readiness.
It's amazing how all these seemingly small details can have such a big impact. It's like Aang is creating a symphony of elements to orchestrate the perfect breeding environment.
You're spot on.
Yeah.
And just like a symphony,
Right.
each element needs to be in harmony
Yeah.
for the final masterpiece to come together.
I love that analogy. Okay, so we've talked about the potential for male-on-male aggression,
Right.
the intricacies of Cichlid courtship, and the importance of the environment.
Right.
But there's one piece of the puzzle
Okay.
that we haven't addressed yet.
Well, I'm intrigued. What are we missing?
We keep saying that Aang thinks he might have misidentified some males.
Right.
But what if he's right?
Mm.
What if the new fish are actually all female?
Okay.
What could explain the aggression he's observing?
You've hit on a crucial point.
Okay.
We've been so focused on the possibility of misidentified males that we've overlooked the fact that female jewel cichlids can also exhibit aggression.
Wait, really? I thought the females were supposed to be the more peaceful ones.
That's a common misconception.
Oh.
While females are generally less aggressive than males,
Okay.
they can become territorial, especially when they're protecting their young
Okay.
or competing for resources.
So it's possible that the new females are simply asserting their dominance
Precisely.
in the ponds.
Remember, these are intelligent creatures
Okay.
with complex social structures.
Right.
They're not just mindless automatons
Right.
following pre-programmed behaviors.
Okay.
They're capable of adapting to new situations
Right.
and responding accordingly.
This is getting more and more fascinating by the minute.
I know.
So we've got two possibilities. Either Aang accidentally introduced some males,
Right?
which is causing a major shakeup in the hierarchy,
Mm-hmm.
or the new females are simply asserting themselves,
Right.
leading to some unexpected skirmishes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And until Aang provides more information,
Right.
we're left with a tantalizing mystery.
I can't wait for the next post.
I know.
Which possibility is more likely?
Right.
How will Aang react to the situation?
Yeah.
And ultimately, will his breeding experiment be successful
Right.
despite these unforeseen challenges?
You're painting a picture of suspense worthy of a blockbuster movie.
I know. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
let's take a moment to appreciate the lessons we've learned from Aang's journey so far.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even in a seemingly simple hobby like fish keeping,
Right.
there's always more to learn,
Yeah.
always new discoveries to be made.
You know what strikes me most is Aang's willingness to share his journey,
Right.
both the triumphs and the setbacks.
Right.
He's not just presenting a polished version of events.
Yeah.
He's giving us a raw and honest look
Absolutely.
at the challenges and rewards of fish breeding.
And that's what makes his blog so engaging. It's real. It's
Yeah.
relatable.
Right.
And it invites us to join him on this journey of discovery.
Mm-hmm.
He's not afraid to admit his mistakes
Right.
and question his own methods.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reminder that learning is a lifelong process.
Yeah.
And we're all constantly evolving.
I think that's a beautiful sentiment and a perfect note to end on.
I agree. So to our listener, as you continue exploring the world of fish keeping,
Mm-hmm.
or any other passion for that matter,
Yeah.
remember to embrace the journey,
Right.
the ups and downs, the unexpected twists and turns.
Mm.
It's in those moments of challenge and uncertainty
Yeah.
that we often learn the most.
Well said. And who knows?
Right.
Maybe one day you'll be sharing your own fish-keeping adventures with the world.
That would be something.
Yeah.
Until then, keep diving deep.
Yeah.
And never stop exploring.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you next time
Sounds good.
for another fascinating exploration. Okay, spill the tea. What did you find?
Well, as I was saying, Aang has a history of misidentifying fish. A few years back, he documented a similar situation where he thought he had a group of females.
Oh, no.
But it turned out a few sneaky males had snuck into the mix.
So this isn't his first rodeo with mistaken identity?
Nope. And what's even more interesting is how he handled the situation back then.
Yeah.
He decided to separate the males,
Okay.
creating a more balanced environment for breeding.
That makes sense. It's like we were saying earlier, sometimes a bit of intervention can help things along.
Exactly. But here's the twist. In that same post, he reflected on the experience and questioned whether he had intervened too quickly. He wondered if he should have let the hierarchy play out naturally, even if it meant some initial chaos.
Whoa. So he's not just a bystander. He's actively thinking about the ethics of his actions and how they impact the fish.
Absolutely. It shows a real depth of thought and a genuine concern for the well-being of his cichlids.
That really adds another layer to this whole story. It's not just about breeding success. It's about understanding the complex social dynamics of these fish.
Exactly.
And respecting their natural behaviors.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's about finding that delicate balance between human intervention and letting nature take its course.
So now I'm even more curious to see what Aang does this time around.
Right.
Will he follow the same playbook and separate the potential males? Or will he take a more hands-off approach and let the chips fall where they may?
I guess we'll have to wait for his next blog post to find out. But in the meantime, I think it's worth reflecting on what we've learned from Aang's experiences.
Yeah, I agree. It's amazing how one person's passion project can spark such a fascinating conversation.
Right. We've gone from visual sexing to fish economics and even the ethics of hobbyist practices.
Yeah.
It's a testament to how much we can learn from the world around us if we just take the time to observe and ask questions.
You know what strikes me the most is Aang's willingness to share his journey. Both the triumphs and the setbacks.
Right.
He's not just presenting a polished version of events.
Right.
He's giving us a raw and honest look at the challenges and rewards of fish breeding.
And that's what makes his blog so engaging.
Yeah.
It's real.
Right.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
And it invites us to join him on this journey of discovery.
Right.
He's not afraid to admit his mistakes and question his own methods. It's a reminder that learning is a lifelong process.
Yeah.
And we're all constantly evolving.
I think that's a beautiful sentiment and a perfect note to end on.
I agree. So to our listeners, as you continue exploring the world of fish keeping or any other passion for that matter, remember to embrace the journey, the ups and downs, the unexpected twists and turns.
Right.
It's in those moments of challenge and uncertainty that we often learn the most.
Well said. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be sharing your own fish keeping adventures with the world.
That would be something. Until then, keep diving deep and never stop exploring.
And thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.
Take care.